Good afternoon, this is Keith Harrison welcoming you to Christmas Eve on Channel 4. So let's get the day underway by going back to 1941 for the film version of George Bernard Shaw's Major Barbara.
Flash Gordon, tonight at 7:10 on BBC One.
Well, in rather gentler fashion, after Flash Gordon's done its stuff, we'll be dropping in on Val Doonican's Christmas party at 5 to 9. Also there will be Howard Keel, The Nolans, Sky and Wall Street Crash. Now on BBC One, another selection of star guests, hosted on this occasion by Little and Large.
On ITV.
In 5 minutes, the musical Messengers to Earth. But first on YTV, the Fraggles are coming.
Well, the Norman splendour of Peterborough Cathedral provides the imposing setting for Songs of Praise special this evening at 6:15 as Geoffrey Wheeler joins schools, choirs and congregations in their musical celebration of the Nativity here on BBC One. And that's excepting viewers in Scotland who have carols for Christmas Day.
A traditional blend of entertainment for young and old is Christmas Day on BBC One. At 1:05, Glitterball, a film for all the family.
I've lost it.
It's an alien. I knew it could happen.
I'm present on her. Must be kept a secret.
At 2:00, the Top of the Pops Christmas Party with the stars and DJs of 1983. At 3:00, Her Majesty the Queen gives her traditional Christmas greeting to the Commonwealth. At 3:15, a Christmas blankety-blank.
Terry! Don't throw your dandruff at me.
At 3:50, Walt Disney's classic version of Treasure Island.
By Jove, sir, we've got to save that boy.
Why, he's lucky you came along. Or old John here, he'd have had nothing to bargain with.
And at 5:35, Jim will fix it, and some more Christmas dreams come true.
We get it on. There we are. Oh, don't you look lovely? Beautiful.
Christmas entertainment for all the family on Christmas Day on BBC One.
And now to see what the weather holds for us this Christmas Day, here's Ian McCaskills.
Hello. Well, my children gave me a Blue Peter weather beater badge for Christmas. I think they were trying to be helpful, but I prefer the old-fashioned methods, such as the satellite picture this morning. They were now at 8, just a couple of hours ago now. Infrared, you can see fairly thick cloud over southern Britain there. That's affecting. Come and look at the details of Christmas Day's weather now. Well, here we are. A fairly mild day just about everywhere, as you can see. Absolutely nowhere at all for this flake of snow. 11 centigrade is 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Cloudy, as you can see in the far south on the satellite. You saw that. Spots of rain in places, not very much. Over northern England, North Wales and northwards, the winds in the far north moderating, but a mixture of sunshine and scattered showers.
And we continue our Christmas Day entertainment here on One with an animation from Down Under, starring Rolf Harris as Jake the Peg, Little Convict.
BBC Two now relives that day 30 years ago when thousands lined the rainy streets of London to watch the coronation. The programme recalls not only the preparations, but also the events of the day, observing that nobody minded the rain. Here on One, in an hour's time, Her Majesty the Queen's Christmas broadcast. First, an end-of-the-year reflection of Top of the Pops, 1983.
The perfect Christmas opera is just starting on BBC Two. Rossini's La Cenerentola, otherwise the story of Cinderella, recorded during the summer at the Glyndebourne Festival. BBC One, on the other hand, can offer a couple of gentlemen who may not be Prince Charmings, but always manage to make their shows a ball. The Two Ronnies. Stay with us on BBC One for the very latest chapter in the eventful life of Yorkshire's most famous vet, James Herriot.
Highlights of the Christmas holiday on Boxing Day on BBC One. At 6:25, the Paul Daniels Magic Christmas Show. At 7:15, it's Kenny.
The Kenny Everett Show. You did it with him?
One question at a time, please.
At 7:50, the British premiere of Rocky.
Jurgens, the post is wrong.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm wearing white pants with a red stripe.
It doesn't really matter, does it? I'm sure you're going to give us a great show.
And at 9:45, Lenny Henry presents Laughing Matter, 50 minutes of classic comedy. Boxing Day highlights on BBC One.
There's an unexpected and possibly unwelcome present from Santa to Del & Co. in Only Fools and Horses at 9:35 tonight. But now on BBC One, it's time to sit back and meet all our old friends at Darrowby in the heart of the Yorkshire Dales. In a special Christmas Day presentation, we take up James Herriot's story of his life with all creatures, great and small.
In 25 minutes, we'll be joining the regulars of Pigeon Street, and that's followed at 11:10 by the Walt Disney adventure Strange Companions, starring Michael Sharratt as a young runaway who stows aboard a light aircraft. Now, on BBC One, it's time to open the doors of the Boxing Day Play School, presented by Elizabeth Milbank and Brian Jameson.
Get ready to play.
What's the day?
It's Monday. Right, there you are then.
Water as John tries his hand at rowing and steers the team of Balliol College, Oxford, to inglorious defeat. We look back with Noakes again at 12 o'clock tomorrow. In 5 minutes, The Raccoons and the Lost Star. It's a musical cartoon about a lonely star who likes to daydream. First on BBC One, the news headlines from Richard Whitmore.
Good afternoon. Scotland Yard say the bomb which exploded off Oxford Street last night was probably planted by the IRA gang behind the Harrods attack. The bomb, between 1 and 3 pounds of high explosive, was left in a litter bin in Orchard Street between Selfridges and Marks and Spencer. Christopher Morris reports.
By comparison with the bomb at Harrods, this was a relatively small explosive device, though it is believed the same IRA gang was responsible. 2 people were slightly hurt in this latest blast in what does now seem to be part of a new IRA Christmas bombing campaign in London.
Boxing Day with BBC Two. The hit musical Mame.
Simply travel a new highway, dance to a new rhythm, open a new window every day.
Starring Lucille Ball as a lover of the high life and Robert Preston as her newly found nephew, Mame is this Boxing Day at 5:25.
Most of us have grown up with the stories of Mrs. Tiggywinkle, Peter Rabbit and Jeremy Fisher. Well, BBC Two now presents a biography of their creator, the tale of Beatrix Potter. It stars Penelope Wilton. Tomorrow afternoon, BBC Two presents a programme first shown in Omnibus in which the late Sir Anton Dolan, in conversation with Barry Norman, recalls his life as a dancer and the people he knew. Dolan, Friends and Memories, tomorrow afternoon at 2:35.
Boxing Day on BBC Two, from La Scala Milan, Romeo and Juliet. Set to Prokofiev's haunting music and based on Shakespeare's classic tragic love story, Margot Fonteyn, Rudolf Nureyev and Carla Fracci perform one of the world's best-loved ballets. Romeo and Juliet from La Scala, Milan at 8:10. Boxing Day on BBC Two.
Over on BBC One, shortly you can find Shaken Stephen, Stu Francis, plus, of course, Orville and Cuddles at the Keith Harris Christmas party. Here on 2, Robert Robinson introduces the third of this week's conversational games about books and writers.
To just after 16 minutes past midnight, the end of our Boxing Day here on BBC One. On Radio 2 right now, you'll find Stuart Hall still going strong, and if the same goes for you, at 1 o'clock, well, you can join Terry Wogan and a whole host of stars in Radio 2's Christmas pantomime, The Sleeping Beauty. I wonder what part Mr. Wogan plays. Do join us again if you can tomorrow. Until then, from BBC One, a very good night.
Past 10. In 5 minutes, we'll be opening up the doors of the play school. That's after I for the Engine has chugged his way through some snowdrifts. There are 2 seesaw programmes to be enjoyed this morning. In 25 minutes, Gran comes up with an unusual way of keeping her grass in trim. And then at 11 o'clock, Stop Go visits some locomotives who are getting cleaned up. Well, before Seesaw, we open up the doors of Play School. Waiting for us inside are Carol Leader and Fred Harris. Well, now on BBC One, it's time to board the Seesaw, and we have 2 programmes for you today. And
film of the day, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, with Mickey Rooney in his first starring role.
To this holiday Tuesday afternoon on BBC Two. This is BBC Two. The time now, it's 12:30. Time for Racing from Chepstow.